Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of data interpretation. In the previous video, we have solved problems on tabular data interpretation and pie chart data interpretation. So in this video, we have bar graph data interpretation, line graph data interpretation and cassette data interpretation. First question, study the given graph and answer the question that follows. So it is an example of bar graph data interpretation. So here, daily sales of newspaper P and Q in 5 different cities A, B, C, D, E is given. Here, different cities are taken on x-axis and sales in 1000 is taken on y-axis. One bar represent newspaper P and the other bar represent newspaper Q. On top of each bar, the sales of that particular newspaper on different city is mentioned. What is the ratio of the total daily sales of newspaper P in city A and C to the total daily sales of newspaper Q in city B and D? So newspaper P in city A is 640, in city C is 480. So total will be 640 plus 480, 1120. For newspaper Q, city B is 600, city D is 680. So total sales will be 600 plus 680, 1280. Therefore, the ratio will be 1120 is to 1280. So after simplification, we get 7 is to 8. Next question. In which city the daily sales of newspaper P is 1.25 times average daily sales of newspaper Q? So for this, first we have to find out what is the total sales of newspaper Q. So total sales of newspaper Q in 5 different cities, we have to add all the sales. So that will be 450 plus 600 plus 650 plus 680 and the last 620. So total sales is 3000. To find average sales, divide the total sales by number of cities. So 3000 divided by 5, so 600. So average sales will be 600. Now 1.2 times sales of newspaper Q will be 1.25 into 600, that is 750. Now we have to search in the graph that which city has a sales of P equal to 750. So we can see that city D has 750,000 of sales in newspaper P. Therefore, required answer is city D. Study the following bar graph and answer the question that follow. Total monthly income is 50,000. So in this question, expense on different food, savings, clothing, housing, education, transport and other expenses are given, and y-axis percentage of the expense is given. So here expense of food is 20%, savings is 12.5, clothing is 15%, housing is 10, education is 5%, transport is 20 and other is 17.5%. What amount is spent on food? So on food it is 20% of the total income. So 20% of 50,000 is 0.2 into 50,000. So 10,000. So 10,000 rupee is spent on food. How much more money is spent on clothing and housing together than on transportation? Now money spent on clothing is 15%. So 15% will be 0.15 into 50,000, 7,500. On housing it is 10%. So 10% of 50,000 will be 5,000. So total money spent on clothing and housing together is 7,500 plus 5,000, 12,500. On transportation, it is 20%. So 20% of rupees 50,000 is 10,000. Now the difference 12,500 and 10,000 is 2,500. Therefore, 2,500 is extra money which is spent on clothing and housing together compared to transportation. What percent of amount on food is spent as amount on education? Here we have to compare how much spent on education with the amount spent on food. Now we know that amount spent on food is 20%, so 10,000, and from the graph amount spent on education is 5%, so 5% of 50,000 will be 2,500. So we have to find what is the percentage of 2,500 on 10,000. So 2,500 divided by 10,000 into 100 will be 25%. So that means 25% of amount spent on food is spent on education. Next question. Following line graph shows the number of red and blue colored candies which is produced in 6 different years. Here, the darker line represent blue color candies and the lighter line represent red color candies. On the x-axis, we have taken different time period or different year. On the y-axis, the sales of the candies in lakhs is given. And for every year, the sales is mentioned at the points. First question, candies produced of red color in 2018 are what percentage less or more than candies produced of red color in 2017? So we have to compare production of red color candies in 2018 with 2017. So from the graph, you can see that for the red color candy, the production in 2018 is 40 lakhs. For 2017, it is 50 lakhs. 2018, 40 lakhs, and 2017, it is 50 lakhs. So compared to the previous year, the production has reduced. So and the difference is 50 minus 40, that is 10 lakh. And to find the percentage, 50 minus 40 divided by 2017's sale, that is 50 into 100. So 10 by 50 into 100 is 20%. So that means, so there is 20% less candies are produced in 2018 compared to 2017. It is less. Second question, find the difference between a total number of red color candies and total number of blue color candies produced throughout the 6 years. So we have to find what is the total sales of red for all 6 years and what is the total sales of blue for all 6 years. So for red color candies, starting from 2013, the sales is production is 20, 25, 35, 30, sorry 20, 50 and 40. So total is 190 lakhs. And for the blue color candies, 30, 40, 30, 25, 30, 35 and 20. So total 180 lakhs. And the difference is 190 minus 180, that is 10 lakhs. One more problem on line graph. The birth and death rate of a particular city are given below. Study the chart carefully and answer the questions. So year-wise birth and death numbers in millions, starting from 2001 up to 2005, and number is given on the y-axis. Here blue color line represent number of death and red color line represent number of birth. First question, calculate the average number of birth in the city between 2001 to 2005. So we have to add all the number of births to 2001 to 2005 and take the average, so that is divided by 5. So total birth will be 3.5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3 and plus 6.5 and divided by 5. So that will be 3.5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 6.5 is divided by 5 is 4.4 million. So average birth compared to all the 6 years is 4.4 million. By what percentage did the number of birth increased or decreased in 2014 from the previous year? So either it might have increased or it might have decreased. So we'll see in 2004 the change in birth compared to 2003. In 2004 number of birth is 3 lakh and 2005 number of birth is 5 lakh. So change is 3 minus 5, that is minus 2. So minus 2 here, negative value represent the birth, number of birth is decreased. So to find percentage, divide 2 by 5, multiply by 100. So 40%. So that means 40% decrease. So there is a 40% decrease in the number of birth in 2014 compared to 2013. Calculate the difference between number of death and number of birth over the years. So total death over the year is 4.5 plus 5 plus 5.5 plus 5 plus 7, total 27 millions. Total birth over the year is 3.5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3 and plus 6.5. So total 22 millions. So the difference between number of birth and number of death is 27 minus 22, that is 5 million. In which year percentage increase in birth rate over the previous year was maximum? So either for every year we have to compare the number of birth with the previous year we have to compare, or by looking at the graph, here you can see that from 2014 to 2015 there is a sharp increase. Okay, this sharp increase, this sharp slope we can see in the graph. So it is clearly visible that in 2005, so there is a increase in the birth rate over the previous year, was a maximum compared to other. So in the 2005, the total birth is 6.5 million, and in 2004, total birth is 3 million. So percentage increase will be 6.5 minus 3 divided by 3, so that is 116%. Similarly, you can find what is the percentage increase in the birth rate for every year compared to the previous year. Next problem on Castellet data interpretation. There is one paragraph will be given. Three friends A, B and C went to a shopping mall to buy laptop. Individually they have to buy. They all are having the same amount of money, equal to the actual value MRP of the laptop, that is 60,000. So each of them have 60,000 with them. But each one of them got a discount from the exclusive showrooms. A paid rupees 51,000 and B paid 3,000 more than A, and C has paid the amount which is equal to average value of A and B together. Find the answers for the following question based on this given information. What is the ratio of total amount paid by A, B and C together to total sum of MRP of all three laptops? Now, what is the total MRP of all three laptops? So, MRP of one laptop is 60,000. So, MRP of all three laptops will be 60,000 into 3, 1,80,000. Now, amount paid by A is 51,000. B paid 3,000 more than A. So, amount paid by B will be 51,000 plus 3,000, 54,000. C paid average of A and B together. So, C's amount will be 51,000 plus 54,000 divided by 2, that is 1,05,000 divided by 2, 52,500. So, total amount paid by A, B, C together, we have to add all three amounts. So, 51,000 plus 54,000 plus 52,500. So, total amount is 1,57,000. So, ratio will be 1,57,000 divided by 1,80,000. So, after simplification, 1,575 divided by 1,800 is 7 by 8. So, required ratio is 7:8. Second question on comprehension. Three friends, Sita, Rita, Geeta, spent 12%, 14% and 16% of their monthly salary on traveling in the given order, and each of them save half of the remaining amount. The monthly salary of Sita and Geeta is same, and monthly saving of Sita is 360 rupees more than that of Geeta. The total expenditure of Sita and Rita together on traveling is 1,240 more than that of Geeta. Now, before answering any questions, we will make one complete calculations of how much is the income of Sita, Rita, Geeta, and how much they spent on traveling individually, and how much they individually saved. Okay. So let us take monthly salary of Sita as X. Now it is given that 12% she spent on traveling. So 12% of X. So monthly expenditure on traveling will be 12% of X, that is 0.12X. This is the traveling amount spent by Sita. So remaining amount will be X minus 0.12X, that is 0.88X. So how much she saved? That is half of the remaining. So half of 0.88X will be 0.88 divided by 2, that is 0.44X. This is for Sita. Now we'll do the same calculation for Rita. So let us take monthly salary of Rita as Y. Now she spent 14% on traveling. So 14% of Y will be 0.14Y. So remaining amount will be Y minus 0.14. So 1 minus 0.14 is 0.86Y. So saving of Rita will be half of the remaining. So 0.86Y divided by 2 will be 0.43Y. Next, for Geeta, Geeta's monthly income is same as Sita. So we will take monthly salary of Geeta as X again. Now in this, she spent 16% on traveling. So money spent on traveling will be 16% of X, so 0.1X. So remaining amount will be X minus 0.1X. So 1 minus 0.1X is 0.84X. Now half of the remaining is 0.84 divided by 2, that is 0.42X. So this is the saving of Geeta. So we can see that monthly salary of Sita is X, On traveling, she spent 0.12x and her saving is 0.44x. Monthly salary of Rita is Y. On traveling, she spent 0.14y and her saving is 0.43y. Monthly salary of Geeta is X. Monthly expenditure on traveling is 0.1x and remaining is 0.84. So her saving will be 0.42x. Now we have to find X and Y using other given information. So it is given that monthly saving of Sita is 360 more than that of Geeta. That means the difference between saving of Sita and Geeta will be 360. So Sita's saving is 0.12x, Geeta's saving is 0.16x. So the difference 0. Monthly 0.44x and 0.42x. So difference between 0.44x and 0.42x will be 0.02x, which is equal to 360, which is given. Now if you compare, in order to find x value, bring 0.02 to the RHS. So it will go to the denominator. So x will be 360 divided by 0.02. So 18,000. So this is x value, that is monthly salary of Sita. Now there is one more information that total expenditure of Sita and Geeta together on traveling is 1,240 more than that of Geeta. We can write it as total expenditure of Sita and Geeta together on traveling. So that will be 0.12x plus 0.14y will be equal to 0.16x plus 1,240. Bring x terms together and bring y on the LHS. So 0.14y will be 0.16x minus 0.12x, that is 0.04x plus 1,240. Now substitute the value of x as 18,000. So we get 0.04 into 18,000 plus 1,240. So 0.04 into 18,000 is 720. 720 plus 1,240 is 1,960. So this is 0.14y is 1,960. So y will be 1,960 divided by 0.14. So y value is equal to 14,000. Okay. Now, what is the monthly expenditure of Sita and Rita together on traveling? Now, on traveling, Sita's expenditure is 0.12x, Rita's expenditure is 0.14y. Substitute the value of x and y. X is 18,000 and y is 14,000. So 0.12 into 18,000 plus 0.14 into 14,000, that is 2,160 plus 1,960. So total rupees 4,120 spent on traveling by Sita and Rita together. Second question, the monthly salary of Rita is how much more than or less than that of Sita? Now monthly salary of Rita is Y, that is 14,000, and that of Sita is X, 18,000. So the difference is 4,000 rupees. But Rita's salary is less, so 4,000 less than that of Sita. What is the sum of saving of all three friends together? Now for savings of Sita is 0.44x, for Rita 0.43y, for Geeta it is 0.42x, and substitute the value of x and y here. So that will be 0.44x plus 0.40x. You can write it as 0.86x, and in place of x you put 18,000. So 0.86 into 18,000 plus 0.43 into 14,000. So total 15,480 plus 6,020, 21,500 is the total savings of all three friends. The total monthly savings of three friends together is what percentage of their total monthly salary? Now, from the previous question, we can see that the total savings is 21,500 and the total monthly salary will be x plus y plus x. So 18,000 for Sita, 14,000 for Rita, and again 18,000 for Geeta. So total income is 50,000 and total saving is 21,500. You can use it from the question 3. Therefore, the percentage will be the difference, that is 50,000 minus 21,500 divided by 50,000. So 21,500 divided by 50,000 into 100 equal to 43%. Okay. So we have solved so many problems on data interpretation. We'll continue with the next topic in next video.